What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. This is for Thursday, June 22nd, and we are back, hopefully, bringing you a fun-filled, stat-filled, informative video. If we do help you at all, let us know down below. Let us know your thoughts, what you're looking to see in these videos. If you're new to the channel, if you're back, welcome back. If you don't know what we do here, we go over all the pitching on the slate. Then if there's some bats that jump out to us, we'll look at that. If you need a little bit more help with DFS, we've got an entire website for you, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. We have cheat sheets, optimal lineups, we have BVP, we have umpire factors, ballpark ratings, Vegas odds. We've got it all. FTA Plus is $10 a month until the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, it'll be $25. If you get in now, you are grandfathered in for that $10 a month until the start of football season. Then it'll be $25, all-encompassing NFL, MLB, and sports betting content. All of it for you. Go check it out, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So, before we get started, anytime a video gets at least 50 likes and you leave a comment, a positive comment, I should say, your name is thrown in on random.org, and you will randomizes 3 times, and on the 3rd time, their winner will be revealed, and they will win a free week of MLB DFS, brought to you by FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Anytime a video gets 100 likes, we do the same exact thing, but you have a chance to win a month. Anytime a video gets 125 likes, you have a chance to win the entire MLB season. So, also another way to do it, like the video, be a subscriber, tell us who's going to hit a home run, what inning they're going to hit it in, and the distance traveled as a tiebreaker. If multiple people have the same answer, we will go distance travel without going over. Price is Right rules, per usual. And check out yesterday's video. Marquise Davis, he's won it multiple times. You can win multiple times. So good luck to everyone in this. We're going to randomize this 3 times, and then we're going to see who the winner is. And then we'll get started. So here's 1. Here's 2. And the winner of the MLB Week Pass is Oral Hagby. Congratulations, Oral Hagby. I think I'm saying that correctly. Like this video, comment here. Either 2 ways to reach out to us. You can either email us dfshelp1@gmail.com, or the easiest way is to hit us up on Twitter, DM us at advisors_team over on Twitter, and we'll get you set up with a username, password, and a week pass to MLB DFS. So congratulations. Again, if this video gets at least 50 likes, we'll do the same exact thing on the next video. So we're going to jump into this. As of the making of this video, the Braves and the Phillies game is currently delayed by weather. I don't know if it's going – I think it's delayed by weather. I don't know if it gets postponed, if it gets put on this slate, what pitching will go there, but we'll get to that when we get to that if we need to. So without further ado, we have Thursday. It's a weird slate. We have 8 total games, which is normally we have about 8 to 10 games on a Thursday. It's travel day for a lot of teams, getaway. That's kind of what I'm looking at. And you can see the games are early. 105 here, 105, 110, 110, 345. You got a couple of night games, but other than that, be weary that when you watch this video, depending on what time it is, the games are pretty early for Thursday. So we're going to look at that, and we're going to dig in a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not impressed with the slate overall. It's feeling more of a tournament-type slate than it is a cash slate, and that is definitely something we will look at. And that is something we do on the website when we have our optimal lineups, which I like for you guys to use, but mix and match as a starting point for core plays. Nights like this, we have Fanduel, DraftKings, Cash, and GBP lineups. Most of the time, we're going to be putting spreading it out. So with this kind of slate, the amount of games, I'm not totally in love with the games at the moment. I'd rather be looking at tournament-type plays, but we'll dig in. We'll look at anything you want to look at. Well, the question of the day is, what is the most surprising fact of this MLB season so far? Is it the fact that the Yankees, Astros, and Dodgers were, I don't know if they are right now, but were or are all in third place in their division at the same time? Is it the Pirates' hot start to start the season and now they're kind of back? Or is it the Cincinnati Reds with 11 straight wins just smashing the ball here? Crazy. But that brings us to the first game. You got Diamondbacks at the Nats. You've got Tommy Henry versus Jake Irvin. Henry, 45 plate appearances, a 300 batting average, only 6.7 K percentage, so he's not striking out a ton of batters, which is, obviously what you would like to see when you're building lineups. So it looks like on DraftKings the main slate is 5 games. So yeah, that's definitely only a tournament option for me, especially with just the pitchers that are on the slate. Henry, I'm trying to see, has he faced Washington this year? He did. So he just faced Washington on June 6th, negative 1.7 fantasy points, 4.1 innings, 5 hits allowed, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, and 2 home runs. Those aren't good numbers. I don't like that at all. 45 plate appearances at 300 batting average is alarming, and we can kind of see how they've done. Jake Irvin is actually even lower priced than him. I'm going to see if he faced Arizona. He did. So he has faced Arizona same day, same matchup here. So he faced Arizona back on June 6th, minus 0.4 fantasy points. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and only 1 strikeout. This is a terrible match. I'll have zero exposure to both of these pitchers. I'd rather take the bats in this game, both sides. I mean, Arizona, they're hot. They're, I think, still leading their division. I have to stack Arizona today as well. Ketel Marte at the top. It seems like he's getting on base or hitting home runs. Corbin Carroll, if he gets on, he hits home runs and steals a ton of bases. Those are 2 that I like. Gurriel Jr., Christian Walker, cheaper options. Longoria is there. Josh Rojas is there. So the Nationals bats that I would be looking at, Lane Thomas, and I've said this in multiple videos, he's only 2 for 5 with a home run against him. He seems like he's hitting home runs or he's in the box score scoring for the team every time I look. He's always a good option for me. Keibert Ruiz, I'd kind of look at a little bit. Again, you got to get a little bit crazy on a tournament day like this because a smaller player pool, people are going to want to go a little bit contrarian to try to get on top of the competition. It's kind of what we got to do. So stacking this game, I don't mind. Let's wait till the Vegas numbers come out. Obviously, the implied run totals there, the over-unders, the pitching options, and then the pitching prop bets that we'll put out. But a lot of these are where we're looking at, and this is a game right off the bat. As long as the weather is good, I like this game. In the hitting department, I absolutely hate it for the pitching department. So just other ones I'd kind of use if you are stacking this, if you're going to stack the Nats for whatever reason, Candelario, a cheap option. Lane Thomas will be the number 1 Nats bat that I would look at there. Stone Garrett has been in the news lately for getting some hits and stuff. Luis Garcia, 3 for 6. So Keibert Ruiz. I don't mind a mini stack of the Nats, but I'm not looking at them as the main stack. I look at Arizona as the main stack in the bats that I talked about. This game right now, Atlanta Braves at the Philadelphia Phillies. Bryce Elder versus Taijuan Walker. Elder's he's the 3rd highest priced pitcher on DraftKings, so he's got a 5-1 record though. I'm trying to see, has he faced Philly this year? He's not. 5-1 record, 2.6 ERA, 69 strikeouts. Coming off 21.1 fantasy points against Colorado. Phillies are a better hitting team, though. So that's something to pay attention to. He is expensive, $9,700 on the slate, down from $10,000 against Colorado. So they've priced him down. So this is why I kind of like DraftKings a little bit better than FanDuel. They've priced him down a little bit to his competition. Seems like anytime FanDuel puts pricing out, they don't care who it is. They just price it how they want. Doesn't matter the matchup unless you're in Coors, and go from there. So Elder's never faced, I should have seen this. Elder's never faced Phillies before, and you guys know that I am a sucker for taking a pitcher against a team that's never faced him before. But again, Phillies can hit. Harper, everyone is in play on this day because it's a tournament option. So pretty much everyone but the first 2 pitchers are in play for me, and we'll get down the list. But I don't mind Elder here. Yes, I would look at the Braves bats. Taijuan Walker, was on the Mets last year, so obviously he faced this Braves team before, and now he's in the same division. And you can see 81 plate appearances, 361 batting average. Just go on to see who's been hot against him, just like yesterday with Aaron Nola, the Braves with Aaron Nola. Acuna's 2 for 10, so that's not much. Ozuna's 3 for 9 with a double. Matt Olson's 2 for 9 with a double. Austin Riley 4 for 10 with a home run. Eddie Rosario 2 for 6 with a double and a home run. You got Michael Harris Jr., who's coming off the National League Player of the Week or Player of the Month. I think Player of the Week because we're already obviously halfway through June. 3 for 4 with 2 home runs there. Travis d'Arnaud 3 for 4 with a double. The other day we used him in our lineup. He had 2 home runs, had like 50 fantasy points. So yeah, I'm looking at stacking the Braves again, and it will really just depend. I think when people are going to stack the Braves, they're going to go Acuna. They're going to go all the higher price guys, and we can save some money here. This is one where I'm going to be like, hey, let's stack the Braves, but let's make multiple different stacks. So, again, you could go Acuna, Ozuna, Olsen, Albies. Cool. Or you go Acuna, Ozuna, Riley, Michael Harris. You can save money. Or flip-flop and put Travis d'Arnaud in there as well. So, I am all over a Brave stack. I won't have any exposure to – I might maybe have a couple of exposures to Walker just because if he does go off, you're going to be ahead of the field because everyone's going to be on the Braves. But I really like the Braves over the Phillies here, over Walker, and I will have some exposure to Bryce Elder here. Next game, Oakland at the Guardians. You got J.P. Sears versus Logan Allen. Sears coming in here, 1-4 record, 4.25 ERA. Obviously, Oakland's bad. They're not giving him run support, so you're not going to get a ton if you're getting no run support. Facing the Guardians, let's see. He faced them his first start of the year. 9.1 fantasy points. He was at 6,000, so he's only 800 more than he was at the beginning of the year. 4.2 innings, 8 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, but he did have 5 Ks there. So he does come in with 72 strikeouts. So I honestly, I know his numbers, 22 plate appearances, 429. That's not enough. That's one start in your career, and that was the first start. So just looking how that kind of went in that one, 500 batting average, 1 for 2. That's going to bump up the numbers there. 3 for 4, Stephen Kwan, 750. So these numbers are bumped up. Only 1 home run, Gabriel Arias. Jose Ramirez, he's always a threat to get extra base hits. So I honestly will have some exposure to Sears because it is a tournament type day. And then you look at Logan Allen against Oakland because Oakland's so bad. Trying to see if he has not faced them ever. He's got a 3-2 record, 3.95 ERA. He's coming off of against San Diego, which they are obviously a good hitting team, specifically against lefties. Negative 4.1 fantasy points there. Against Houston, 4.9 fantasy points. So he's had 2 really bad outings in a row because they're facing really good teams. And then against Minnesota, 16.1 fantasy points. Against Baltimore, the end of May, 36.8 fantasy points because he had 10 strikeouts. I will have exposure to both of these pitchers. I would lean more towards probably Logan Allen because Oakland's Oakland. I wish this game were in Oakland over Cleveland, but we'll take what we can get. But I will have exposure to both of these. At the moment, there's no real bats that jump out to me. To be honest, Oakland, Ryan Noda. There's not a lot to like about Oakland overall. But looking at this, there does look to be kind of some weather that we might be looking at. Atlanta at Philly with some rain, Arizona at Washington with some rain, Oakland at Cleveland with some rain in this main slate. So just a little bit. And yeah, I'd rather take the pitching than the bats in this one, but you got to get a little creative because, again, this is not a good slate. Overall, not really a fantastic slate. This might be one where if I normally play $50 a day, I might only play 10 and do on DraftKings, they're having the micro one, so it's 1 cent to play 150 lineups, which is pretty cool. Get in there and get that money if you can. Lean in Logan a little bit more, but I will have a little bit of Sears here. No bats really jump out to me right now. I'll wait for the BVP. I'll wait to see how they've done in their previous 10 games, the cheat sheet to come out with the projections, and then we'll kind of build from there. But again, probably looking at just some pitching in this one and avoiding the bats overall. Red Sox at the Twins is the next game. Boston still doesn't have a pitcher slated, so we'll go with that. And then you got Joe Ryan, 40 plate appearances, 263 batting average, 17.5 K percentage. He is actually the highest priced pitcher on the slate. Walter, I guess. Brandon Walter will be promoted for this game. So it's Brandon Walter versus Joe Ryan. Walter making his major league debut. Maybe throw him in a tournament if he, it's a tournament. You got to get a little creative. On FanDuel or on DraftKings, he's only 4,000. So I mean, you could put two pitchers high price there, one pitcher high price, and then Brandon Walter, and just hope that he has a decent outing against Minnesota, who, when they're hitting, and when they're not, they're striking out and they're getting out. Joe Ryan, he's the highest priced pitcher here, 11,000 on DraftKings. Looking at against Boston, faced Boston last on April 19th, 12.7 fantasy points. He was 9,600 at that time. He's 11,000 now. In that game, he got the W, went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, and only 3 strikeouts. So the strikeouts were kind of low. I do like him a little bit more because it's not in Boston. Again, almost anyone's in play except for a couple of the pitchers because it's a tournament. Boston can hit, but on the road, they're not as good a team as they are at home. So looking at that, I don't mind Joe Ryan here. Had a good game against Detroit. Went 7 innings. No, he didn't. What's going on? Against Detroit, he had 13.6, so he must have had a ton of strikeouts, huh? So got the loss, went 7 innings, 6 earned runs allowed, but had 7 strikeouts. So the strikeouts saved him. If he had no strikeouts, he'd have been negative there. So he's coming off a pretty bad game. Hits-wise, runs-wise, a little bit good for the strikeouts. It's the most amount of strikeouts he's had since May 19th, so a month. Okay. I'll have exposure to him, but I'm weary on him because maybe the batters are figuring him out just a little bit more than we would anticipate. But looking at that, it's Boston. We don't know what lineup's going to be out there, and it's not in Boston, so I'll take a little bit of exposure to Joe Ryan here. Padres at the Giants is next. Blake Snell versus Alex Wood. I've said it before. When Blake Snell is on, he's a fantastic pitcher. And we used him his last start against Tampa Bay, against his old team. I said when he's on, he's a strikeout machine. He can get outs. He can go deep into games. But when he is off, he's walking people. He's hitting batsmen. He's getting hit hard, and he's getting out of the game quickly. In that game against Tampa Bay, at home in San Diego, a pitcher's park, 6 innings, 2 hits allowed, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts. He's had back-to-back 12 strikeout games. He had a good game in Colorado, 36 fantasy points, gave up 1 earned run and 12 strikeouts there. Now he's facing San Francisco, trying to see if he's faced them. This year, he has not. In his career, 69 plate appearances, 39.1 K percentage, 153 batting average. I love Blake Snell on this slate. That is why he's the picture of this video here. And he gets a good matchup in San Francisco against San Francisco and Alex Wood. Alex Wood, on the other hand, 90 plate appearances, 222 batting average against him. Looking at this, Alex Wood pitched 5 days ago against the Dodgers. They won 15-0. He went 5 innings. So he only went 5 innings. So he went short there, 4 strikeouts, but he ended up getting 20.9 fantasy points. Why? Because he only gave up 3 hits allowed. So, yeah, I think DraftKings, when they're scoring, if you give up hits, that's minus points. He only did 67 pitches in that game, but again, it was out of control. 15-0 W there against the Dodgers, who are on paper a better team than the Padres. I don't mind that. But again, the Padres hit lefties well. So looking at the bats here, if we're taking Padres bats against, I don't know if I'll have much exposure to Alex Wood, just because I'd rather have exposure to the Padres bats here. Machado's 4 for 13 with a double. Juan Soto 3 for 13 with 2 home runs. Matt Carpenter I probably won't have any exposure to. Won't have any exposure to Nelson Cruz, Austin Nola, Trent Grisham. Bogies 0 for 5. Gary Sanchez 1 for 2 with a home run. I'll have some exposure. I think I might like to look at Tatis, Machado, Gary Sanchez, maybe Kim. But I might go with those three: Machado, maybe Soto as well. So you could be looking at Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis, Soto, and Gary Sanchez. If he's starting, this is something to look at, a cheaper option. And I will take Blake Snell. So love me some Blake Snell against San Francisco. There obviously is a chance for him to shit the bed like any other night. I'm only human. I'm just going off what I'm seeing, trying to help you guys. So if we do help you, let us know. Hit that like button. Also, we're going to start doing something, hopefully to boost the channel's views and help me get some revenue for you guys to get a new camera, get a new computer. What I'm trying to do is build out an algorithm and an optimizer for the website. But they're built-in ones. They're like $5,000. Like you can have the cheap like Excel spreadsheet ones that are okay, but the more intuitive ones that built into the website are like $5,000. Sometimes they're like $500 a month just to upkeep with the stats and stuff. So that is something that I'm trying to do, but it's going to be a while. And looking at that, when I'm building that out, we've got to find a revenue stream. So I'm looking at doing YouTube shorts of like sports statistics or trivia. So if you guys like these videos, if you're a subscriber, hit the bell notification and make sure to watch all the videos we do. If there are ads there, hit the ads to just help us out. The longer you watch the videos, the longer you watch the ads, the more it helps us, and it's super easy and free. Again, subscribing to the website helps us, $10 a month until September. Super easy, super simple. That is also another way to support us. I was also looking at maybe some merch, but I don't know if you guys would even be interested in it. And if you would, what would you be looking for? Just kind of curious. So any ideas, any way to help? You can also donate. We've got a PayPal and Venmo. We also have CashApp down below in the description. We've had multiple people send in between $2 and someone sent in $100, which is amazing. But anytime you guys want to do that too, completely awesome. It's amazing the support you guys have given me just in the past month and a half tops. Royals at the Rays is the next game. You got Jose Cuas versus Shane McClanahan. Trying to see Cuas here. He's looking like he's a side armor, because that is definitely, 5 plate appearances, 250 batting average. It's not much. Hasn't seen him much. We know that. So digging into the numbers here. So he's an opener. You're not going to use him. He's going to go 1 inning. 1 inning is his max, I believe. Yeah, his 1 inning is his max, so we're not using him there. And he's going up against Tampa Bay. I'd rather take Tampa Bay bats. On the flip side, Shane McClanahan. Love McClanahan here, specifically against the Royals. At home, love that. He hasn't faced them this year yet, but in his career, only 14 plate appearances, so not much. But in his career, 28.6 K percentage, 167. He's 11-1 record, 2.12 ERA, and 97 strikeouts already. Coming off at San Diego, coming off a good game against San Diego. 1 earned run in that game, 6.2 innings, 5 strikeouts. Got 23.4 fantasy points on DraftKings. Coming off that, a good start in Texas, or against Texas with 20 fantasy points. At Boston with 21. Toronto 29.4, Milwaukee 25.6. So I haven't seen the stats, but I wouldn't be surprised if McClanahan is the current overall AL favorite for Cy Young. I will take McClanahan over that. And then just depending on what lineups come out for the Rays, I would be looking at stacking the Rays against Cuas for 1 inning and then whoever the Royals throw out there for the rest of the game. Pirates at the Marlins is next. You got Mitch Keller versus Braxton Garrett. Mitch Keller, 31 plate appearances, 276 batting average, only 9.7 K percentage. Not too good. We've used him multiple times. We used him against Milwaukee his last start. Didn't do too well. 11.9 fantasy points. He did get the loss in that one. Gave up 4 earned runs, but did have 7 Ks. And coming off 7 Ks before that. Trying to see if he's faced Miami this year. He is not. And then Braxton Garrett, 22 plate appearances, 421. So they've hit each other team hit okay against them. Again, it's a kind of Mitch Keller's second highest priced pitcher on the the night slate on DraftKings, Braxton Garrett's right behind him. Garrett, we've used him the last 2 starts of his, against Washington and against the White Sox. Against Washington, 28.5 fantasy points. 6 innings, 8 Ks. Against the White Sox, 5.1 innings, 9 Ks. He's been striking out a ton of people. I honestly love this. I think I like Braxton Garrett a little bit more than I like Mitch Keller. But again, it's a smaller slate. I'll have both exposure. I'll have exposure to both of these guys. I think I like Braxton Garrett a little bit more, though, which is crazy to think about. He's 7,900 on the night slate on DraftKings, where Mitch Keller's 9,900. You could save a ton of money, and this is where you might have some success here. So I do like Braxton Garrett a little bit more than I like Mitch Keller. The bats really don't jump out to me right now until we get all of the news out, the weather, the BVP, everything out there. Yeah, that's kind of my thought in this one. Braxton Garrett, I like him a little bit more than I do like Mitch Keller. Then the final game on the slate, you got Brian Wu versus Domingo Germán. Wu started off this will be his 4th career start. Looks to have some weather concerns in this one. He comes in with an 0-1 record, a 7.3 ERA, and only 20 strikeouts. His first start against Texas, but again, that was early June at Texas, humidity, and Texas themselves, very hot hitting team at the time. Minus 4.3 fantasy points. He went 2 innings in that Major League debut, 6 earned runs. They ended up losing 16-6. His next start against the Angels, 17.5 fantasy points. We used him, actually. We came back because, again, my thought is a guy is going to be very low owned because he had a terrible debut, and then he had a good matchup against the Angels. And we went with it, 17.5 fantasy points on DraftKings. Only 4.2 innings, so he didn't go very deep in the game. Did give up 2 earned runs, gave up 1 hit, but had 7 strikeouts. And then we used him his last start against the White Sox because all of the other experts were touting the White Sox. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You've got your quote-unquote experts on there, and they give you, 5 plays of the day, and that's it, or 1 stack, and that was it. Last time, I heard at least 6 of them, and on the Fantasy Sports Sirius XM channel, touting stack the White Sox against Brian Wu. I said, screw it. Let's take Brian Wu against the White Sox. 25 fantasy points. Went 5.2 innings, his longest start of the year. Gave up 2 earned runs, which were 2 home runs, 2 solo shots, but he had 9 strikeouts and 91 at-bats, or 91 pitches. I am on the Wu train again just because of how bad the Yankees have been striking out lately. Again, it is tournament only, so you got to get a little creative. I don't mind Wu against here. If the game plays, it does look like there's some weather concern in this one. And this is something to monitor because, depending on when the storm rolls through, they don't play the Mariners very much. Teams don't really have a ton of off days where they could travel cross-country to finish this game. They might try to do everything they can to get this game in. But if that's the case and weather is concerned, maybe the pitchers go out, it starts raining, they're done after an inning, then we're screwed. But luckily it's the last game of the day, so we kind of can see how the weather's going throughout the day. And then Domingo Germán, on the other hand, 56 plate appearances, 224 batting average, 21.4 K percentage. Since coming off the 10-game suspension for the extra rosin or whatever he had, he's done okay. His last start, though, atrocious. It was against Boston. They ended up losing 15-5, had minus 13.5 fantasy points. Only lasted 2 innings, 7 earned runs in that. I remember they just kept the scoring notifications on my phone just kept going. 2 walks, only 1 strikeout. People are going to see that, and they're going to be turned off on that. But Germán just faced Seattle the end of May. Went 6.1 innings, 7 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, but ended up getting 11.7 fantasy points. I don't mind him, but honestly, I kind of like Brian Wu a little bit more over him. I'll have exposure to both of these pitchers, but I'll be more heavily invested in Wu than I would on Domingo Germán. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, everyone involved watching this video. Those are all of the matchups in this slate, this split, heavily early slate, and then we got a few games at night, at least on DraftKings. We've got an interesting slate to go. Hopefully this video finds you doing well. Again, make sure to hit the bell notification. Make sure to check out all of the YouTube Shorts videos that we're going to be posting in the near future. Hopefully it'll help the channel grow. And that's really all I've got for you. Any comments, questions, concerns, get those down below. If this video gets at least 50 likes, someone will be a winner yet again. I know we can do it. We're going to have some more contests throughout the summer too, so definitely make sure to hit that bell notification because sometimes the contests are going to be the first person to leave a comment on a video, and you're not going to want to miss it. So that's what I've got in this video. Good luck on this slate, everybody. Let's bring home some bacon. Peace.